Maria Holder Diabetes Center.
Remember, diabetes isn't just about sugar. It affects your heart, kidneys, eyes, and mind.
It's the last Saturday in August as we say goodbye to Crop Over and soon goodbye to Cardiovascular and say hello to 15 diabetic friendly minutes being brought to you with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetes Foundation.
Hello? I would like to know what's happening in today's show.
In today's show, last week Dr. Diane Braffett spoke about cardiovascular risk and how it impacts on you. This week Dr. Braffett speaks on...
So how do we reduce our cardiovascular risk?
I'm very glad to hear you speaking on that, because that's something I would like to know.
When it comes to the, topic of cheat days or cheat meals, my concern is always that...
Hear what is dietitian Victoria Cox is concerned about you eating cheat meals and what they can do to your diet. I mean you. And also hear today's cheat song.
I want to hear the cheat song.
All this and more coming up with the compliments of the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, the Barbados Diabetic Ice Screening Program, and the bank that helps you to manage your financial risks, Republic Bank.
Dream a dream and watch it become a reality. You can do anything. Pull up a chair, come sit and come share with Republic Bank. You can do anything. Yes, we're the one for you, making dreams come true. We're the one for you, your partner for life. We're the one for you, Republic Bank.
If you are diabetic or pre-diabetic and you need diabetic services, but you need to make your dollar stretch no further than the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. For vascular, podiatry and diabetic eye screening services or consultations with diabetes doctors and nurses, call 417-0305 today. The Maria Holder Diabetes Center, located in Warren St. Michael. They can save your life and save you money, but members get 10% off.
A good Saturday morning, VOB peoples. This is Peter Boyce here. How are you all feeling this morning? You feel good? You feel like you ain't went to the doctor in 2 years and you feel like nothing wrong with you?
Aye, man. Nothing wrong with me. I know it's how I feel.
Well, when you feel like that, right? That is when you should be looking to go to the doctor. You know why?
Why, Boise?
Because early detection saves lives. Do not wait for symptoms to appear before you go looking to go to the doctor or visit the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, located in Warren St. Michael, the place to go to get your health checked, whether you are diabetic, pre-diabetic, or not diabetic at all. But if of course you are diabetic, all the crucial diabetic services you need you can find at that one location. A screening for diabetic retinopathy, vascular screening for chronic venous insufficiency, or what they just call bad circulation, or podiatry for treatments from podiatrist Louise Robinson to keep your feet looking pretty and healthy. Or you can make an appointment to see diabetes specialist Dr. Diane Braffett. And you know that Braffett is not only a diabetes specialist, but she's also a diet specialist. That is why you see her participating in Cardiovascular and thing. But when she's at the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, diabetes is her focus. And last week on this show, Dr. Braffett focused on cardiovascular risk and how it impacts on you. And if you missed it, all the shows you hear on VOB you can find on the Diabetes Foundation YouTube page. This week, we are now going to go to Dr. D to focus on the next aspect of cardiovascular risk.
So how do we reduce our cardiovascular risk? Well, let's look at diabetes. So it means obviously we need to control our diabetes, and diabetes should be well controlled from the time of diagnosis. If you can reverse or put in remission, that is even better, and it is doable if it's diagnosed early for type 2 diabetes. If you're pre-diabetic, you want to get that into remission. Okay, so make sure that it's well controlled. That's number one. If you're diabetic and you have another condition such as the hypertension or the cholesterol, make sure your other NCDs are very controlled. Remembering having multiple NCDs increases the risk of just having diabetes. If you have diabetes and you know that you have complications, your risk is going to be now even higher than the person who doesn't have complications. Make sure that you're controlling your diabetes, but also make sure you're using the appropriate medications to reduce your cardiovascular risk. And what are these medications going to look like? like, we're talking generally about cholesterol reducing medications, and it's actually advised in all diabetics between the ages of 40 to 75 that they may need to be on a cholesterol lowering medication. Okay, and what do these medications do? It's not just about lowering cholesterol, but it's actually about melting the plaque out of the arteries, and that's why we encourage patients to be compliant with the medications. Nobody wants to take medication, is true, but honestly, taking medication and living without the complications of both diabetes, high cholesterol, hypertension, and cardiovascular disease are very important. If you're living with cholesterol problems, high cholesterol problems, make sure you're getting that control both with lifestyle and medication if needed. Some people may be able to control it with lifestyle only, but a lot of people do need medication. Hypertension, make sure you're checking your blood pressure regularly at home. If you have high blood pressure, you should have a blood pressure machine at home that has an arm cuff, and you learn how to measure the blood pressure properly. We'll review this in another session again because it's very, very important. The vast majority of persons with diabetes that we see at the center are actually hypertensive, so managing the hypertension is actually very important, and knowing your numbers, but checking your blood pressures at home and taking your machine to your visits. And so therefore, remember, we want everybody out there to do appropriate screening for diabetes, high blood pressure, and your cholesterol as well, so we collectively and you can work on reducing your cardiovascular risk. Okay, so we're finished with our mouthful. I hope you've learned something today. Have a blessed, have a very safe weekend, and please remember, please take in the Carifesta Festival.
Thank you, Dr. D, for telling us how to reduce our cardiovascular risks. All the VOB people I know have been listening very carefully, just like how they'll be listening to our next topic, cheat meals. Are you one of those people that just be like,
I just like the day and time, but I just look forward to my cheat days when I can eat anything I want.
anything? You sure about that? Let's find out about diet cheat days from dietitian Victoria Cox.
When it comes to the, topic of cheat days or cheat meals, my concern is always that, ironically, sometimes people will go overboard and essentially make sure that they eat something particularly unhealthy because they have designated a particular meal or a particular day as, cheat day. So, for example, if someone's cheat night is Friday, the reality is they may be perfectly content to just go home after work and prepare something at home that's, relatively healthy, relatively balanced. But because they have designated that as cheat night, they're almost going to ensure that they go out and buy something that's maybe like fried or sugary, greasy, what have you. So I think sometimes it can tip a little bit too far where it, leads people to be unhealthier than they actually would. However, the concept is, of course, that you're putting this effort into trying to eat healthily, but you still want to have things that you enjoy, and that's why people will kind of go the approach of having a cheat meal or a cheat night. And I do, of course, believe that healthy eating patterns should be sustainable. But again, I think maybe having a specific cheat night still kind of reiterates this idea of being on a diet, which is often something we think of as short-term or temporary, versus just knowing that, we're generally trying to eat healthily 80 to 90% of the time, and we recognize that there's going to be that 10 or 20% when we treat ourselves to something, go out with friends or family, have a little something that we wouldn't eat on a regular basis, and of course that's absolutely fine. It's just making sure that we're not doing it more often than we should, and there's not exactly a hard and fast rule, but I do tend to recommend strategies such as not buying and keeping quote-unquote treats at home. So for example, instead of having a tub of ice cream at home in the freezer where you may be tempted, you might decide that once a month as a family or with a friend or something like that, that you may go out to a shop, an ice cream parlor, and have yourself, a scoop of your favorite ice cream, rather than have, like I said, the whole tub at home where it's going to constantly tempt you. Not keeping things like cakes and whatnot at home, but if you go out for a special occasion and you want a dessert at the function, then by all means, enjoy. So it's really just trying to find the balance, but not necessarily locking yourself in into this week after week after week cheat meal, where without that designation, there may be several weeks in a row where you go without eating anything that sort of veers off your healthy eating plan. So it's just trying to find that balance.
So you all heard dietitian Victoria right? Be careful with those cheat meals. Remember, you can make an appointment with Victoria at the Maria Holder Diabetes Center to get your own personalized meal plan, whether you are diabetic or not. As we go from cheat meals to a cheat song, and I know how the VOB people like the oldie goldies on a Saturday morning. This is Susan Way with the Cheating Game. Compliments the Maria Holder Diabetes Center and Republic Bank. Do not cheat with your food, nor do not cheat with your partner.
Break a heart and laugh and walk away. Of true love, you've made a mockery.
The Maria Holder Diabetes
Free to
Center.
go, knowing next time you'll pay no price for your common vice. The cheating game. Love and lies go hand in hand. Your love goes free like wind-blown sand, seeking out unwary prey, teaching them the way you play the cheating game. Who knows the mind of the cheating kind? Who's blocked the shadows from sight? Who's gonna pay the price to make the wrong seem right? You're gonna go scot-free to live a life without blame, while I reap the harvest of heartaches from the cheating game.
So it's really just trying to find the balance, but not necessarily locking yourself into this week after week after week cheat meal.
Now I must sow my love alone to make it grow, carrying the only thing you left me, a legacy from the cheating game.
The Maria Holder Diabetes Center.
The dreams you weaved so well was casting the die for my private self, taking love, forsaking love, making me a victim of the cheating game. Who knows the mind of the cheating kind? Who's blocked the shadows from sight?
For a long time I was prolonging not to have my eyes, I went to get an eye screening. I checked for a long time, but because of I had a cataract operation 5 years ago at the hospital, and then when we go to the hospital, because of the amount of people that goes to the clinic there, you don't always get special attention. And just about a couple months ago, Diabetes Foundation, they had called me, Dr. Prophet, send the message that they were doing the eye screening program, and I went and I had my eyes done. Both me and my fiance, and I can say that I was well satisfied with the result. Right now the cataract is under control, so I would say yes, that is very good. It's very good for diabetics.
In 2025, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, located in Warren St. Michael, with their diabetic eye screening, vascular screening, and podiatry services, offers a standard of diabetic services that equals or surpasses any you might receive internationally at a price that everyone can afford. So if you are diabetic or pre-diabetic and listening to VOB right now, call and make an appointment to get your eye screened for diabetic retinopathy by calling 243-3937. Or if you are having vascular or circulation issues or need to see a podiatrist or nutritionist, call 417-0305. The last 15 minutes you heard on VOB was brought to you with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program, Republic Bank, and the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. Until next time.
Even without symptoms, uncontrolled blood pressure can damage your organs.
Did you know nearly 1 in 5 adults in Barbados have diabetes? Did you know diabetes is one of the leading causes of vision loss in the world? Regular eye screening can save your eyes. Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-3937 to find out how you get your simple digital eye screening done for just $100. Or members get 10% off.
Dream a dream and watch it become a reality. You can do anything. Pull up a chair, come sit
Maria Holder Diabetes Center.